Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. Yes, this is pre recorded. This will be a pre recorded live stream, but let's first get started. Hello, everyone. I hope you guys are enjoying your holidays with family, friends, or just by yourself and just totally enjoying it. My name is Yolanda, and I am Locating Cozy, and this is a broad chat. So, as promised, I have another special guest, keeping it in the family for the rest of this month, just about. But I do want to thank everyone for coming on, for coming here and hanging out with me. And I really appreciate it. I'm checking out a couple of things, making sure that I am totally prepared as this is still live and I don't like to do edits. But yes, we're going to be hanging out with Miss Jessica today. Jessica is my favorite Cali Baby. And this is my middle daughter, my favorite middle child. Y'all have already had saw that I actually interviewed my youngest daughter, Kayla, and then I interviewed my oldest daughter, Ebony, and now it is Jessica's turn. Hello.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. I'm glad that we were able to do this before year end. I'm hoping that my thing
Right.
is not shaking.
What?
So hold on just a second. I just want to check out one thing and make sure I'm not doing something wrong because I keep doing, yeah, okay. So last time I realized that the music was playing all the way through. My intro music was playing all the way through because all I did was mute it. I didn't actually like pause it or anything. So
When you were on with Ebony?
yes. I think, yeah, I was on with Ebony. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
wait a minute. I messed up. It's live. It's live. I don't edit and stuff. But before I get started, I would love to make sure that everybody remembers to please do like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you will know anytime I go live or I'm uploading something or I'm live streaming or whatever it is. Even if I come on here to say boo, you will know that I have spoken. So make sure you do that. Okay. Anyways, so Jessica, there's a couple of things that I do. I don't, have you ever watched one of my episodes?
Well, I watch Ebony's and Kayla's.
Oh, okay.
In
Okay.
preparation. Yeah.
Yes. Well, and I don't take offense at all because we all have things that we're doing and we're all pretty active in our own worlds and stuff. So um, I know that you support it. I know you always cheered me on. All
Yes.
three of my daughters have.
Mhm.
But I understand you haven't been watching it or whatever because everybody has their own path journey in life. But I'm so glad that you're here. So before I get started, I wanted to hit a couple of the church notes here and just let everybody know. Please do make sure that subscribe here, follow me on Instagram. It's Locating Cozy, and also I have big plans coming for 2025, and not just because it's a New Year's resolution. It is actual fact, actual things happening. So you want to make sure that you subscribe to my email list and you will get notifications. And when you do that, you actually will get, can I do this? Is it not going to let me put in anything on here? I guess because it's not live, they're like, no, you can't put nothing on here right now. What do you mean? Wow. Okay. Anyways, what's in the description? You will check. I thought maybe I could sneak and just put some comments on here while we're pre-recording. They're like, no, you cannot. It has to be live streamed. Anyways, in the description is a bunch of information. Mainly, it's the information about how you can subscribe to and get email updates about all the goings on that are going to be happening in 2025. Most likely, we're going to start with a meetup in Zaragoza. That's going to be a smaller one. And then I'm planning a bigger, more exclusive one in May or June. So it is important that you actually go ahead and sign up, fill out the form. The link is below. And then you will get updates. And you will also get a moving to Spain checklist that's going to actually give you a lot of insight, whether you're moving to Spain or moving somewhere else, or you're just kind of doing some bopping around or long-term travel. Get this information. It's going to come in pretty handy, especially if you come into Spain. Okay. I know Jessica's like, this is so weird, but this is still my personality. You know this. You know this.
Actually, I do need that information. My homegirl just moved to Spain, or she's moving on Monday. Yeah.
You told me that. Yes. I
Yeah.
need to get some information. Yes, definitely. So before we get started, one of the things that I do like to ask, and I want to know, and I want everybody to stop and ponder and think, is what's going on? What's going on in my world? What's going on in your world? I'll start. I cooked Christmas dinner for the first time in years.
Oh.
It was really, yeah, I cooked Christmas dinner here
Mhm.
and that was my first time cooking Christmas dinner in years. I want to say it was probably, I want to say maybe 15 years
Whew.
since I made Christmas dinner, probably any holiday dinner. Yeah. I have
Mhm.
not, because I've always either just like kicked it and enjoyed whatever was in the house, nothing fancy, or I was at family's house. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's about 15 years. So I, I don't just cook we weren't doing like turkey and mac and cheese or ham and all that stuff. We're not doing that here.
I was like, "Wait, what
Um,
did you make?"
so what I made was, because well, first of all, so I have a temporary tenant here right now because, of course, if you don't know, I allow Black women that are coming and trying to create a soft landing. If I have the space available, they can come and stay with me, certain parameters. So don't think you're just going to get off the plane and be like, I'm here, let me in. That's not happening. But I have a tenant right now that's staying with me while she's getting acclimated. Um, my youngest daughter and son-in-law and the grandbaby, and then a lady that I met in Portugal. I met because I was in Lisbon for like a week doing a pet sit, and because I just wanted to go back to Portugal. And there was a lady that I met there who's been kind of bopping around herself for years, and I was like, "You need to come to Zaragoza." And
Mhm.
she's like, "I said, come spend the Christmas with me. Come on." And
Aw.
she did. Yes, she actually.
I love
Yes,
that.
we had a good time and stuff, different personalities all the way around, but we had a good time. And yeah, she came, she flew in, she spent a couple of days in Madrid, and then she took a train here to Zaragoza. I think it was she arrived on the 23rd or the 24th. I can't remember. Anyways, yeah, she arrived just in time. I think she arrived on the 24th, and then she stayed until the Friday.
Oh,
And so,
cool.
yeah. Yes, I love just
Good.
meeting random people. It was just so
Right.
cool. Come on, just come on over. But what I made was
I love it.
so octopus is really big here. Octopus is
Mhm.
like really big here. So anyways, I made a risotto with octopus and it was just so good.
Mm.
I made asabuca, which is beef stew.
I was like, "What is that?" Okay.
Yeah, beef stew, beef shank stew.
Uh,
And sometimes it's veal or whatever, but yeah, veal shanks or whatever, lamb shanks. But yeah, beef stew basically and some mashed potatoes, which I was okay. So I'm a foodie.
mhm. And we all are.
So, but I have been, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, feels bad, honestly, y'all.
That part.
But I had not been able to find russet potatoes here. All they
Mm.
had was the basic white or red potatoes. That's all I've been able to find, and they don't have that particular amount of starchiness that I like.
Mm.
Anyways, the day that I was grocery shopping for Christmas dinner, I came across a bag of russet potatoes here in Zaragoza, and I was like, I'm making mashed potatoes. Yeah, yes, it was it was so great. And I went a little bit too far, but because I didn't have time to go get like a masher and stuff, I found what do they call it, the ricers, the potato ricers, where you put it in and you smack. You're like, what are you talking about?
No, I've never seen that. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, it's like I would get up and go run and get it and show you. But yeah, I'll send a picture
I'm
to you
gonna
later on.
Google it.
Yes. And so anyways, yeah, they were just so nice and light and wonderful. And yeah, all the butter and all the good stuff. So yeah, it was just really good. And then so in Lisbon, well, I didn't make this, I bought these. In Lisbon, they are known for their pastas de nata, which is basically a little custard
Mm.
tarts that are really good. I mean, Lisbon has that. Well, I think it's just Portugal has that down.
Mhm.
Anyways, I brought some back from Lisbon And I gave some to Kayla because like you can buy them in the airport. You can just buy a pack of 6 in the airport when you're leaving Lisbon, but they're everywhere. Anyways, I got some for her, and I had a pack for me. But those 6, they were gone like within, I don't know, like a week. You know, yeah. So
One a
I
day.
found some here in Lisbon, and I was like, I'm gonna get those, and then I like to like put some Biscoff, like crumbled Biscoff cookies, and some, like I baked some apples, and I done this like with the ones that I brought back from Lisbon, and it was delicious. Well, I got some here, and it was good. It was not the same. Lisbon has the Portugal has pastas donadas on lock, and if I'm saying it wrong, I'm sorry. Okay. So, anyway, that's what's going on, and so from that, yeah, I'll share more later. But what's going on in your world?
In my world, you know what? So the holidays for sure. But I also recently started a new job as a clinical director. And so,
Oh,
right. And so, like, just kind of adapting to that and like getting into the groove of it, starting to do trainings and stuff like that.
mhm.
Really kind of more so focusing like on me and my time and then also on work and stuff too is really wonderful. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, and
I'm getting to know like
we're
the new
going to get
employees.
into what she does in more detail and stuff.
Yeah.
But so you're still just like really, because didn't you start that? Well, you started that a few months ago.
Yeah,
I'll just leave it at that. But
it
yeah,
was, but it definitely
yeah.
takes
But
a
it's
while to get
are you
your
still in the
brain
honeymoon phase?
that part, yeah, no.
Oh, okay,
The
okay.
honeymoon phase is gone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so now I'm kind of more, like, adjusting to, like, the ins and outs of it, actually doing the trainings, getting more so involved with, like, supervisors and everything too, and so kind of overseeing all that, and I was regional clinical director previously of, training, but then
Mhm.
now I'm, like, clinical director, so I'm like, "Okay," kinda getting my feet wet and, like, figuring that
Okay.
out. Yeah.
That's my girl, y'all.
Hi.
That's her. Okay.
I love it.
So the other thing that I love to ask
Mhm.
is, how are you locating your cozy? How are you locating your cozy is the question I like to ask, because I want to know, what are you doing that is all about you? What
Mm,
are you doing, or what have you done this past week that is something that just made you feel good? It wasn't like involved anybody else. It was just, I mean, it could involve somebody else, but it was really for you, whether you want to call it selfish or I'm just putting myself first.
yeah.
Um, for me, I did nothing purposely. One, it's cold as hell right now.
Mm.
Okay. It is like in the 30s right now.
Oh,
But
30s. Mm-mm.
yeah, it's in the low 30s right now.
I'm
And
in Vegas, I
in
can't do that at
Zaragoza,
30.
it's like it's the valley, so
Mhm.
that cold hits differently.
That
But
wind.
what yes. Yeah.
Mhm.
But the thing is, it was I didn't do anything because I had just gotten back from Lisbon, and I spent, I was out in the streets in Lisbon, and then I had people over, and then we went out Friday, me and my tenant and the guests that came in from Lisbon. We all went out Friday night. So the rest of the weekend I haven't done anything else, and that's good with me.
Yeah.
I literally have not stepped out of it. I think I just stepped out to take the garbage out. That was
Mhm.
it. That
Mm.
was it. And so,
Even that was
yeah,
cool.
yeah. And so yeah, that's all I did. But I got so much done because I sat down with my planner. I sat down with my whiteboard, and I just really said, okay, this is what you're doing today. And I literally yesterday was on my couch, and I got it just felt good.
Mhm.
It felt like I was being productive, but I got everything done. That was on my list minus one thing. And
Mhm.
then today I got up, and I mean, I went to bed, I don't know, about maybe a little bit after midnight, and I woke up at 7, and I was like, okay, let's get the party started. And yeah, I went down my list again, and I'm like, okay, this was a good productive
Mhm.
weekend. I was supposed to go to the grocery store because I am cooking New Year's Day dinner also.
Oh.
Um, but I didn't want to go out yet. I'll go tomorrow.
I don't know if you
Anyways,
guys had her cooking before, but it's on point. Like, she puts her foot in it. Okay. Uh-huh.
former personal chef here.
Not
Yes.
one. Not one.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
So yes, yeah, and they come by it honestly because my girls can cook too. Um, but yeah, that was just really nice. And it was really something that I needed to not like. My tenant has been like going in and out this weekend. I'm like, girl, bye, have fun. But again, I went out Friday. I had people been entertaining, so it was just so nice just to sit on the couch, watch. Like I rewatched The Big Bang Theory, and then I some other shows that I've been like watching
That's
on
when you can
YouTube
just
or
have on
whatever.
in the background playing, like
Yeah,
it's there.
yes, it felt great. So, how have you located your cozy lately, Jessica?
Well, I actually did the same thing. I took off on Friday and I'm taking off tomorrow, on Monday, and basically just having that time to myself. Having that time to myself, really kind of like analyzing myself in a way too. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and being able to just kind of have that time and that like
Mm-hmm.
space and even like putting my phone away for how long and just not even being by my phone. Okay. Because I could be by
Yeah.
myself, but my phone be blown up. So, but I keep my phone on silent on like usually in general, I keep my
Mm-hmm.
phone on silent. But this time I actually like had it away. So I'm not tempted to be like, you know,
I still haven't mastered that yet. Yeah, because even
uh,
like I know, like right now, I have it on silent. Whenever I'm recording, I have it on, like I have it on Do Not Disturb.
mhm.
But I still, I can't believe I'm
And make
admitting
sure I
this, but
put my
yeah,
own
I
thing
still
next to
sometimes I will go down a deep dive, just in the middle of the night because I don't have like a clock or whatever in my room, so it'll be pitch black dark, and so I'll pick up my phone to see what time it is, and then I'm like, let's see what's on. Like I have it on Do Not Disturb throughout the night, but still I'll pick it up to see what time it is, and then I'll be like, let's just look at some stuff until I fall back to sleep. Yeah.
Mhm,
So I really do need to. Well, one, I need to get a clock
mhm.
um, in my room. I can't believe I'm saying that, but yeah.
No, I purposely don't have a clock in like my living room. In
Hmm.
my bedroom for sure, but then as far as like my living room, kitchen area, I don't have any clocks because I'm just like I don't want to be kind of controlled by time in a way.
Hmm.
Yeah, I want to
Okay.
kind of just be free to be like, okay, great. Granted, it'll be what time in the morning, and I'm like, oh, I gotta go to sleep.
Well, so if just for people, just so you'll know, since Jessica's in California, and I'm in Spain, I'm actually 9 hours ahead of her. So when I wake up in the morning, a lot of times that's when I like to call her. So when I wake up at 7 in the morning, it's only like 10 o'clock there where she
Yeah,
is.
and I'm a night owl.
So yeah, and I know she sometimes is up until like 2, 3 in the morning. So I try not to call her during that time because I'm busy by that point. But yeah, that's my time. If she's available, if we're both available, that's usually my time that I'm going to reach out to Jessica and be like, "Hey, girl,
Hi.
what you doing?" Okay, and then a lot of times she'll be like, "I'm out right now. I'll try to call you
Right.
when I get back." I'm like, why did I think she was at home chilling?
I know. I'm like, it's like 1, 2 o'clock, and I'm like, oh crap.
But I get it. I get it. So yes, yeah, again, locating your cozy is just about, sometimes it's something great and sometimes it's something simple and sometimes it's nothing at all. Like I think last time when I talked to, I don't know if I was talking to, I forgot who I was talking to, it may have been Ebony, that I was really like, I'm not going to be like, oh, this is what I did to locate my cozy. For the most part, I do try to put some time for myself,
Mhm,
to make sure, I guess, to keep my balance. But there are some times when I'm just like, girl, I didn't do anything extravagant. I just laid on the couch this
mhm,
weekend. Yeah, that's what
mhm.
I did. Okay, with no apologies
No apologies. Cleaning
at all.
definitely tried to clean. Then yesterday I was like, I don't feel like doing anything. Like I just don't feel like it. So I kind of tidied up a little bit, but yep.
Yep. So yeah, my house is. Yeah, I did clean some. So yeah, it looks good. Because like you have all the floors, and then after people leave, especially after the holidays, you got to go through and sweep and mop and all of that stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So the topic today is, of course, based around Jessica. I don't know why, but it's called Travels, Passions, and Making a Difference, and how my Cali baby finds joy in San Diego and above. So before we get started, Jessica, tell us a little bit. I have questions, and I did not share all the questions because I like to
I know. I was
eliminate
hoping you
and be
would.
like, hey. So, but tell us about you.
About me. So,
Yes.
I do a lot. I'm kind
No.
of like out there venturing out, doing a lot of different things. The primary thing I do is actually work with kids with special needs. And so I do in-home ABA, applied behavior analysis. So as you see on my little credential things, so I have my master's in behavior analysis. I have my BA initially was in sociology, and my minor was in psychology. And so I'm a board certified behavior analyst. And so the BCBA, that's what that means right there. And so I've been doing it for like 13 years now. Yeah. I started off as a therapist and I moved up and now I'm clinical director. And so I specialize in actually helping kids with autism and other related special needs to actually be able to kind of live a more fulfilling life and actually kind of learn like the social skills, language, like even like just adaptive skills too. As far as let's say like a 12-year-old doesn't know how to take a shower on his own, I'll teach that
Mm.
kid how to, but I'll also teach the parents how to as well, how to teach him to be independent. Or even if it's like teaching the therapist, I'll make the whole entire program and I'll actually go ahead and train the therapist on the strategies to teach the child the new skill. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, as far as your profession, actually, I had a guest on, Dr. Linda Enoch. She's actually getting ready to move with her husband, and I believe I think she has 4 kids. 4 kids? 4 kids, yeah. And they're getting ready to move to Africa.
Oh.
Yes, they've been working on the plan, but she has a child that has special needs. I believe it's on the spectrum. And yeah, so they were talking about the challenges of what kind of involvement is offered through the school system or the public service systems in this other country. And there was a lot of things that are not offered there versus what's in the US. But she had to kind of look at it like, well, maybe the process will not look the same as what I had in the US, but there's a way to build upon the offerings that they do have. And then also this can lead to informing the
Mhm.
society there about here's some other ways and how her and her husband can actually be more involved in bringing, I guess, insight and knowledge to the community about how
Mhm.
they can help. But this has not deterred her. She just had to
I'm
do
glad.
what they had to do, a lot more research to find out how to navigate,
Mhm.
where they plan to move to. But yeah, it's
No, that's
yeah.
very true. Different countries, let alone different states, don't have
Mm,
certain services. And so California, like we have the most, you know. California
mm,
is very open-minded as far as like the services that you can get. They provide more. Their San Diego Regional Center as well for under the age of 3, you can get services paid for through Regional Center. A lot of
mm.
people don't know that, and that's why I want to share that. But if you go to
Wow.
different states, they don't even offer ABA services. They might have only like, I mean, in Arizona, they only had like what, 40 BCBAs at one time, like in
Mhm.
the whole state, which means that like those 40 BCBAs in the whole state are handling every single child on the spectrum. And so I know parents who move or can't move to certain places because they're like, I'm not going to get the services in that
Mhm.
place that I'm going to get here, and my child's priority for me. Other countries, let alone some countries, don't even believe in autism. They don't even, as far as if you have a child who's on the spectrum, they'll take them. They'll put them in a home, you know. So I
Yeah.
have families who actually I have several families who are Middle Eastern saying that they can't even visit their home. They can't even go back home
Oh,
because their
wow.
child, yeah, yeah. And so it gets real. You know, other countries aren't really as up to date or open minded to it. They're like, okay, we'll just have to put them somewhere off to the side.
Yeah.
And so it's good to like make sure that whenever you are moving, that you are aware of what type of service you can get, if there are special needs services, if they're in the school district, what their policies are, what they do offer. Do they offer speech and OT as well? Do they offer PT included? And like, there's a lot of things you'd want to look into before moving, for sure.
Yeah. And so,
Mhm.
but also, I just want to preface that by, we'll just kind of like highlight the fact that, again, there might be challenges. There might be some hoops that you might have to jump through or go through or
Hmm.
discover some processes, or even with with your own. Maybe with the parent spearheading of
Hmm.
implementing some processes. And there might be some things that you might just have to do on your own, as Dr. Linda
Yeah.
Enoch had already said before. It does not make it impossible.
No, not
If you
impossible.
have, yes, if you have special needs, or your child has special needs, or you have like a parent
Mhm.
that you're helping to take care of. That does not mean that you cannot move to the country
Mhm.
or you can't move to another country.
Yeah.
You just have to do your research.
Do your
So yes,
research. And also it might be a different route that you go, just like you said. You might even get somebody privately because there's
yeah,
so many options like that out there as well. But
yes,
like just don't let it hinder your decision to move.
yeah, but make the well-informed decision. Yeah,
Exactly.
don't go blindly, please.
You're like,
Please
oh
and
no, I'm
thank
gonna
you.
go. No, no, no. Do your research.
Yes, absolutely. So I'm going to ask, what do you love most about living in San Diego?
Mm,
And how does that influence, like, I guess, maybe your work and creativity?
yeah, it's not 30 degrees. Like saying the weather, like it's beautiful, like probably in like the mid 60s right now. The
Hmm.
weather is probably the biggest reason why people move here and then stay here, but also the beach. I can literally just go to the water. Like I
Yeah.
drive 15 minutes or so, depending on the beach, maybe 30, and I'm at the beach and like my solidarity, my like tranquility, everything is like that water and just being able to drive up to the water in my car and sit there and be at the beach is
Yeah.
something that just kind of gives me peace. And then being able to have the weather kind of just go out. The weather is why people move here, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then as far as me, like, I'm a night owl, and so when it comes to me, like, I go out at night. I also have, like, another catering business too, and so me being able to, like, interact with people, the night owl people too, and actually be able to, market and actually, like, network with people is something I'm really,
Hmm.
like, I love doing, and so it actually creates that environment here in San Diego where I could actually just kind of, like, venture out. But yeah,
So,
a lot of connections.
so I've come to visit. I mean, I've come to California more than a few times.
Mhm,
To hang out, to visit my child, to have a great time with her. We are a lot alike.
mhm.
My other daughters, whenever like, and she's actually come here. My all three of my daughters came to Spain they were all here in
September.
September, beginning
Yeah.
of September.
Mhm.
But the last time I was in California, I actually got a pet sit in Oceanside.
Yeah.
So I knew
So
that I wanted to come to visit you. Okay,
mhm.
so I knew I wanted to come visit my child, and I was like, well, I love her dearly, but I wasn't going to stay with her. One, because of what's your snake's name?
Oh, Sage. Sage
Sage. Yeah,
against Carol
yeah.
Bentley.
Yes, I said she has a snake. Yeah, she has a freaking snake.
She's
Okay.
out here somewhere. Like yeah. I let her roam around. She's a big one.
It's 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 that's her baby. That's her jam.
Mhm.
I stayed there one night before I left, and even though Sage was in the cage,
Yeah.
I feel like Sage could have just opened up that cage and been like, "Hey, girl, what's up?" Like, rolled on over to me and stuff, and been like, "Hey,
Ah,
girl, I'm out." Yeah.
that's funny.
So it was, I was fine, but
I'll put the
still
lock
in
on
my
it next time.
brain. That I'm sorry, what?
I'll put the lock on the cage next time.
The lock wasn't on.
No, I honestly I don't even use. She can't open the cage. She can't open it. I
This
can't.
is over a year now ago and stuff, and you're telling me this, and I'm just completely freaking out.
Yeah. So mind you, with Sage, guys, she's 8.5 feet. She's a red tail boa, and so she's like this thick, okay? But she just kind of roams around and everything, does her own thing. I put her in the cage every so often to let her get her heat and her humidity because she needs that environment. But yeah, she just kind of free range.
You hear her?
There
You
was
hear
one
her?
time my friend was sleeping, and then I came out and I saw that like her head was like poked here, and she was sleeping too, and he was sleeping. And I took a picture. I'm like, oh, it's so cute. But he's perfectly fine with her, so that was funny. Yep, she don't
Okay.
mind. She don't mind nobody.
But people mind her. See, I
I
mind
know.
her.
I know.
But okay, we'll come back to Sage.
Yeah.
That and I think you had yeah, I don't okay. Anyways, we'll come back to Sage.
Uh-huh.
But but the thing was, what was so great was that I was able to secure a pet sit.
Hmm.
So that I was able to stay in San Diego and not have to stay with Sage.
Hmm.
And not have to worry about getting a hotel or an Airbnb. I had this, what was that? It was like a 4-story
That was
house
nice.
in
Mm-hmm.
yes. First, it was in
Rooftop.
Oceanside, California, which was just a little bit north. But it was like maybe what 30 minutes from where you lived, or a little bit
Yeah.
longer. But yeah,
Yeah.
so yes, in Oceanside, California. And what happened was I literally told, I left when I interviewed for the pet sit, I said, I'm coming out here to see my daughter. She told her where she lives and what part of San Diego she lived. And she was like, oh, she's welcome to come over anytime. And yeah, so yeah, Jessica came and spent a couple of nights, in that nice comfy bed. Okay.
Like the place was 4 stories, like in Oceanside, rooftop, balcony, or whatever you want to call it, terrace,
Yeah.
where it's like on the actual roof is like you could see the whole ocean. The sunset was gorgeous. Like it had an elevator, like
Yes,
scary
the
elevator,
elevator was kind of scary, but yeah,
very scary.
I just
Like
made sure I had my phone with me every time, just because it wasn't bad. It was just because it was so small. Like
your
it
elevator
was,
now is like tiny as can be.
yeah. So yeah, I can't really complain now. I've gotten used to it. But the elevator at the house at the pet
Hmm.
sit that I was at in Oceanside. The problem was like I was the only one in the house for a while. So I'm like, if this elevator goes out or
Oh,
breaks down and I don't have my cell phone with me, I mean, they have like a button or whatever, but if the power's out, I don't know. All the scenarios just go through your head when you're in there.
yeah. I
But
didn't want to be in there.
overall, yeah. Overall, it was it was a very nice house. I mean, it was a beautiful location.
Mhm.
I have not been in Oceanside, and well, I mean, one time I visited you. One time I visited you. We went and went to and enjoyed. But yeah, Oceanside has had to come up, and they have a lot of nice restaurants and a nice little vibe going on there. So it was a nice getaway
Yeah,
to enjoy.
they gentrified the heck out of that place. Like, because
Yeah,
back in the day it was not, but it was still like the kick it spot, So the whole
yeah,
area where all those hotels were, it was just parking lot. And that would be where
hmm
everybody just like the turn up, basically. And then now I go there and I'm just like, what? Like they built the heck out of that. Like they
yeah.
really built it up super nice. Like the restaurants are great. And just that location was amazing that you're at.
Yes, and just even to be able to walk around, I felt completely safe to walk the dog at night, even though the dog like snatched me up a couple of times because of the freaking rabbits there. Oh
Oh,
my
that's right.
gosh.
Oh yeah, you told me that.
Yes. It's
Uh,
like, oh yeah, the rabbits are wild out here. And I'm like, I don't believe
oh,
you. And yeah, I was proven
big
wrong.
dog.
Yeah, it was a Weimaraner. Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
that dog was. Yeah. And yeah, the dog snatched me up. So, but it was really great because, just to be able to hang out. And this is, what I was doing in the year and a half before I moved to Spain. Well, even with me being here in Spain, I still pet sit. But
Mhm.
yeah, that was really a great option. And, after that, I was like, I can't wait. Like, if and when I do come back to the States to visit, I would like to go back. But even with me planning to come back to the States, even if it's for a couple of weeks, I'm like, gotta find me some good pet sits. Yeah,
Yep.
so gotta try to hit up
You should try La
Cali and
Jolla.
you know,
La Jolla next
huh?
time. You should try La Jolla next time.
I know,
Mhm,
right? Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah. I had saved a whole bunch of them. Like I just went down the rabbit hole of looking at or like favoriting pet sits or homes, just homes that like maybe in the future would need a pet sitter. I went down the rabbit hole in Southern California and San Diego. I was like, oh yeah, that one. Oh, that looks like a nice house. And I was like, girl. So now I would get so many notifications. And now that I've moved to Spain, I'm like, okay, I've got to cut this off because I was getting notifications about every single one. And then
Oh,
I started having FOMO because I'd be like, oh, maybe I do need to fly back for
mhm,
that pet sit.
you do. Yeah, you said if and when. I'm like, if.
Girl, you know how I feel about them right now and stuff. But I mean, yes, I do. My thing was I would like to come back again for a couple of weeks, no more than that. And then my goal was that I wanted to spend like maybe a couple of months in Mexico and pet
I'll
sit
go to
around
Mexico.
Mexico. Yeah.
Oh, go to Mexico. Yep, real quick.
So yeah, but yeah, I don't even need to
That's
be
a
in the
hop and a
US just to
skip.
handle business. Huh?
That's a hop and a skip compared to Spain.
Yeah. But
Hmm.
you did. That was okay. So coming to Spain, that was your first. I mean, okay, so you had done some traveling, like along the
Cabo.
South America, and you went to, huh?
I haven't been to South America, but Mexico. Like
Oh,
I
okay, so along
literally
Mexico
like 30
area.
minutes from Tijuana. And so,
Oh, but
but
you didn't go to Jamaica and all that stuff, or
oh yeah.
Mexico?
So this year I've done
Yeah.
a lot of traveling. This year I went to Jamaica for New Year's. And then I went to Hawaii, which is, still in America. And then I also did a couple different places around here, but in general, I also went to Spain. But
Hmm.
it's just like being able to kind of get out of the country. Jamaica and Spain were my first time leaving the country.
Hmm.
Of course, going to Cabo, going to Mexico is leaving the country, but you know what I mean. Okay,
Yeah.
like flying over water, different place type of thing.
Yeah.
But it was just great, like seeing the different like cultures, the different types of how society is in general. Even when I went to Spain, I remember that Kayla was saying that she's like, "Oh yeah, I had to take Ayana to the doctor," and I was like, "Oh okay, oh goodness, how much did that cost?" And she's like, "Cost? What do you mean?" She's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I forgot. Like, you guys have to pay for your medical visits." I'm like, "Oh shoot!" Like, yeah, we do. Like, wow, so it's free here.
Yeah, once you're
So
in the
different
public
things like
system,
that.
yeah, yeah. No, one of the things I remember telling you was don't bring a lot of shoes.
Mm,
Don't bring a lot of shoes because
mm.
you're walking here. You're just walking
Yeah,
here. And
I
what
brought a
did
lot of
you
shoes.
do?
I brought a lot of
I
shoes.
guess she was like, they don't know what they're talking about. I'm gonna
Yeah.
bring all the shoes. And then so when we started walking back from that restaurant,
Mhm.
and you were like, yeah, I think we need to get a cab. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
no, because I mean, you walk like what, 5, 6 miles a day?
No, yeah, I can. Yeah,
Yeah,
but yeah, it's normal. It's
yeah,
normal to walk. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
because literally Friday night when we all went out, we went to the park and then we went out. We went to a restaurant. Me and the other two young ladies, and yeah, total we did 6 miles.
Mm.
No, I'm sorry, I take that back. That was the other day. No, that day we did. I think it was like 3.5 miles.
Mhm.
Yeah, but it was just, and there was no effort unless you have on some uncomfortable ass shoes.
Yeah, that part. I was like, "Okay." But I was like, gotta look cute. Let me bring like, no. Comfy cute is the way to go in Spain.
And my
Mhm.
sister-in-law, when Rhonda came and stuff, which I'm going to be interviewing her in a couple of
Oh,
weeks, she did the
cool.
same thing, except for they lost her luggage. But we'll talk about
That
that.
happened to me in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Yep, and it was
Mm.
my shoe bag is what got lost.
Wow.
Ah,
Wow.
yeah, but then they found it.
So you have a lot of stuff. You do a lot,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna try to break it down because, like, my child is very talented. And I claim that some of it she comes by it honestly. And then others, I'm like, I don't know. Like her love for her snake. When did you get the snake and how big was the snake when you first got Sage? Let's just go
She
ahead. If
was
you don't like snake conversation, give us like 3 minutes. Okay. Anyways.
yeah. She was, like, so little and cute. Actually, I don't know if you guys can see. She was a tiny little thing. She was only 4 feet. Wait, nope.
Nope.
And so, like, she was so little. Like, her little head, I'm like, "How cute."
People are like turning their heads like,
Oh,
now
that's
I'm
funny. I forget that people no, I have friends who won't even come over. I have friends who are like, "Nope." And I'm like, "But, like, they're like, "Nope." And I'm like, "I, like, have her in the cage locked away." And they're like, "Yeah, no, you gotta put a blanket or something over it." And I'm like, "Nah. I can't. We'll meet somewhere else." But when I first got her, I was actually just supposed to be pet sitting. The girl basically was going to college in Texas, and she couldn't bring her with her. And so
Mm.
she's like, okay, if you could watch her until it was May 2018 when she was supposed to basically get her back. And never did, but it was a cool understanding where it's like, if you fall in love with her, I get it. And I'm like, I'm in love. The girl told me that she would be basically that she was a python. And it turns out she's a red tail boa. And so even the girl didn't know what she had because also pythons, they stop growing at 8 feet. Okay. Red tail boas get up to 12 feet. Okay. Also live 30
Okay.
years. I didn't know what I was getting into. I'm like, you guys live 30 years? I'm just, yeah, okay, cool. Stuck with you. Got it. Okay. So I learned to love her. But it's been an experience. And also it's cool because I'm allergic to like everything under the sun. And so yeah, so like fur and stuff. I have a little dog too. His name's Bo, but he's
Mhm.
a hypoallergenic. And so like I'm fine with him, but with her, I could literally leave on a trip to Spain for 5 days and then come back and she's fine. As long as she has her humidity, the heat set, I have automatic system in the back. So like basically it automatically regulates her heat, her temperature, and her humidity. And so I don't really have to worry about anything. Like she's really low
I
maintenance.
remember, isn't it a terrarium? Is
Yeah.
that what it is that you had to? Yeah, because I remember
Yeah.
when you got that big old thing.
Yeah. It's like a whole 6 foot terrarium. Yeah. I would
Wow.
show, but yeah.
Okay. And
Whole
then
six
the
foot
other thing,
terrarium. Mhm.
wow. Okay. Well, again, I can't wait to come and visit you again. But yeah, again, we'll be finding, a pet sit
I
close
didn't know
by.
there was a reason you didn't wanna stay here. That's funny.
I mean, and don't get me wrong. So, because I've gone to visit, like when I've gone to North Carolina to visit family there and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, you can stay at home." I actually do like having my own space.
100%, yeah.
Period. Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's but I say it's like it was the snake, which it was,
that's a big reason.
but
Yeah.
yeah, but also I like having my own space, and the family back in North Carolina because sometimes was like, so you're not gonna stay with me? I'm like, girl, I'll see you in the morning, but I'm gonna go walk around naked someplace else in my own private area
Yeah, that and you also
that
prefer
I don't
sleep.
have to worry about. Yeah. It's
Uh-huh.
like I don't care if it's this little hotel or whatever it is and stuff. I just needed my own space, and I
Mhm,
appreciated that. Yeah,
mhm,
very much. So one of the other things that I know you do,
mhm.
my baby can sing. He can sing. And I mean, like, he
Yes.
would sing. Now, I'm not going to be like, perform for us, girl. Go ahead and perform for us. No. But tell us about the time, what was that when you had to go and you had to get ready to perform? What was the song in the hangar for those in
Oh,
the,
yeah. So
the
basically
pilot
I
hangar?
do any events. I sing for any type of event. If I have a one that I do annually where it's like a sponsorship brunch and it's actually a hangar that this guy has. He has like 1.7 acres of land
Mhm.
and everybody in that community has an airplane. So it's all like a gated community and they have a landing strip in the middle. So this is some like rich shit. Okay. Like but he does a sponsorship brunch that I do. And so I'll sing like I sang what 15 songs or so. I'll sing for a couple hours, while they're eating and like serenade them with my voice. But yeah, I'll do that. I also just sing at restaurants and stuff too if anybody needs me for that. And then also of course, karaoke and any kind of like last minute whatever it is, I'll do it.
Yes. And
Yeah.
whenever she would come to Houston to visit, and they would go to karaoke like in Midtown or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, she likes to get up there and she'd be like, I don't know. I guess I'll find something. And then she just gets up there on stage and just belts out like she's Miss Superstar. And they're like, where is this coming from? Because she likes that shock value. You like that shock
No.
value.
The funny thing is, I get like massive stage fright, but I try to like center myself. No, I'm serious. You know what? Adele is one person, the singer Adele. She actually has the same
Mhm.
thing, right? Where it's like
Okay.
she gets like major. Also, Barbara Streisand is another one
Okay.
who has like major stage fright, but then of course they have a skill, they have a talent that they need,
Yeah.
they're going to show it, you're going to get paid to do it. But it's just like this, like, like inside of your soul. But if you see me sometimes, I'll actually be like, if there's a cord for the microphone, I'll be like fiddling with it and like wrapping around my
Mhm.
finger as I'm singing because I'm just like,
But then
yeah,
once you start, it just kind of comes out and like it calms you. I think it looks like it centers you and it calms you.
yeah. Like once I'm in it, I'm in it. And I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
cool. But you'll see me fiddling like with something. Like just to kind of center myself. I'm able to kind of hone my into like the chord or whatever I'm messing with in my hand. But I'm able to
Yes.
do it. Or I just hold on to
I
something.
just remember that. I mean, I've seen you perform, of course, a couple of times, but just that one at the hangar. Because I remember, I think you were like concerned because I thought you thought that maybe you were getting sick or something at the time.
I was actually
Yeah.
sick. Yeah. But I did
Yeah.
it. Uh-huh.
Yes. But yes, she did it. And I was like, look at my baby. Yeah. It's like, yeah, I posted like a couple of places. I was like,
Yeah.
look, that's
Like, and the fact I
I'm
did
a
it the
great
other
shower
day.
singer. That's it.
You
Huh?
what?
I said, I'm a great shower singer. Yeah, I sound great. The acoustics are kicking, man. Yeah. Okay.
I love it. You're like, yeah, shower time.
And so, one of the other things, I did not have this on here, but one of the other things, 'cause my baby, she does a lot.
I do a lot.
So, for my 50th birthday, we met up in Vegas. It was
Hmm.
wonderful. I had all three of my daughters. I had some other girlfriends. We had a girls' trip to Vegas, and Jessica came over, met us, and she makes the best edibles.
Hmm.
The best edibles. Okay. And before y'all get started and be like, what? Say it.
In California, it is legal.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. So,
Yes.
so actually, it's legal in Vegas, but you just can't be walking down the street smoking, or is it like
Yeah, you
what's the law
can't be
in
walking
Vegas?
down the street, but it's legal. Yeah. A lot of
Okay.
states are
Okay.
going that route where it's like Colorado was like the first one, I believe.
Mhm.
But a lot of states are seeing the benefits of it. Like it's not just, oh, get high, be stoned. Like, no,
Yeah.
it's more like medicinal, and people don't
Yeah.
realize that. It was criminalized for so long, and it still is, and different states need to catch up. Please catch up. Um, but it's like something where you can have it be a worse drug or categorized as a worse drug than like cocaine or something when it's actually not. And so it's
Yeah.
actually hindered a lot of medical research, a lot of things that have actually like a lot of information we have now about it, how it can help out with so many different things, including depression, anxiety, your sex life. I have people
Yeah.
who get it from me to sleep better if they're like insomnia galore. I have a lot of people who get like I make gourmet edibles, right? Not just like, hey, like here's a cookie. No, I make
Yeah.
like macaroni and cheese, jambalaya. I'll make full dishes. I'll do even like right, like brownies and cookies and stuff too. But I'll make like
Cinnamon
what do I
Toast
make?
Crunch.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
my those crunch treats. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also made monkey bread too.
Okay.
Yeah, recently I made monkey bread. That's like that pull apart bread.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, and then I figured I don't know if everybody knows. And like so I make a whole bunch of different things, but again, people get these edibles from me for a lot of different reasons. It's not just like,
Yeah.
oh, I want to be high. No, it's actually like for a purpose, which is good. I'm not saying you have to have a purpose. But
Yeah.
at the same time, like it's more than what people kind of make it seem to be.
And so now, as you know, because they were like, for my 50th birthday, y'all were like, you're going to do some edibles. And I was like, yeah, sure. It's not my jam. It's just not for me. I
Mhm.
can't. And I know this again because that time when you visited, we won't say where you visited, and
Somewhere.
I can't focus. I can't. Just one puff, one,
Mhm.
and I'm just like, oh, I can't. She talks. Jessica talks, and I was like, I
Oh
can't
yeah,
hear any more words coming out of your mouth right now. I can't. Just let me go to sleep. I'm just begging to go to sleep because I don't like that feeling.
that
But
was funny.
yes, everybody had a great time.
Mhm.
That did that enjoyed the birthday, my 50th
Mhm.
birthday, or for other times. Geez, I remember the time when I came out there to visit. We went to that Jamaican club downtown, and that was like in downtown San
Yeah.
Diego. I don't know if it was downtown, wherever it was in San
Yeah, North
Diego.
Park.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and we walk outside the club, and it's just like weed everywhere and stuff, and the cops are just standing there and stuff, and it's like I'm like, what's happening here? But
Yeah.
yeah, it's
And
California
people
for
aren't
you.
used to that. Like, I remember when
Mhm.
Kayla came out here to visit. Like, we went to that same club actually, the reggae
Oh,
night.
okay.
Yeah, and so we went there,
Yeah.
and then afterwards we ended up in, I believe, Ocean Beach, right?
Mhm.
And we're just walking on the pier area, and like you just smell it everywhere. And like five different people, like, hey, you want to hit it? You want this? And everybody just kind of came together, right? Next thing you know,
Yeah.
we're all in a group, and it's probably about like 12 to 15 people, all in a group. We're all just passing it around, right? It's just normal. And like, but one's a teacher, one's a lawyer, like one's
Yeah.
like, it's like people of professions, just kind of getting together. It's not stigmatized as much as
Yeah.
it is in other states or other countries. And here it's just, hey, how you doing? Especially San
Yeah.
Diego. San Diego is just like such a free spirited, all inclusive type of thing. Cause even in that group of people, it was like Hispanic, white, black, like just everybody, Asian, everybody coming
Yeah.
together. Also, San Diego's a military town too. So definitely, like, we have how many bases here?
Yes, it
We have
is.
people coming from every
I
Yeah.
love going to San Diego sometimes.
Why is that, Yolanda? Why is that?
Hey, me and San Diego go way back. But
Mhm.
anyways, yeah.
Like a whole
But
night.
so you do your catering, and I know, I mean, tell us about how do people like who are in San Diego
Mhm.
who would like to get more information about your uh different events or pop-ups or what have you? Is there a
Yeah.
social media that they can reach out to?
Yes. Yes, there is. There's super bent underscore edibles on Instagram. And so last name's
And the
bent.
description, the information will be in the link below. So just in case you don't have to worry about trying to hurry up and write it down or whatever. So the description is in the link below. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and so I do catering that's like not infused, or if you want it infused, great. I could do full 3, 4 course meals where it's like appetizer, main dish, and then the dessert too. And everything has to be perfectly measured. And that's something I don't think people really understand sometimes, is that the science behind it, where it's like
Mhm.
it took me probably over a year actually to finally figure out how to measure perfectly the dosage. Because you don't want to give
Mhm.
somebody an edible and then be like, "Oh, I'm like way too high. I can't do it." I want it to be something enjoyable,
Yeah.
because a lot of times people will take too much and they're like, "Never again." But then at that point, I'm like, well, think of it like a medication though. Like your doctor is going to prescribe you based on height, weight, your tolerance, everything. And your doctor actually adjusts your medication to be suitable for you. And
Yeah.
so a lot of people would be like, "Oh my gosh, I was way too high, never again." I'm like, "No, no, just decrease the milligrams. Like take like 2 milligrams, versus 20." Um,
I was just looking at on YouTube, and just like as I was looking at random stuff today, but I do like Gary Owens, and he was talking about how he did that. He was talking about how he had his friend had given him like a little gummy bear or something, and he was like 30 minutes in, he was like, I don't feel anything. I don't believe it's
oh,
actually
30
any
minutes.
good.
No.
And so he turned around and took another bear, and he was like, and those two bears joined together in my stomach and said,
With those
wow.
bears combined.
Yes, he was like, he just said it was absolutely horrible how he
Yeah.
felt. And yeah, and that's why I don't like it, because again, that one time, the last time that I partook with you, and yeah, I just took one hit and I was like, oh, I can't even think right. I'm begging to go to sleep. I'm like, please let me go to sleep so this will wear off. So,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Mhm.
I like my Manhattans and my old fashioned cocktails. That's
There
what
you
I like.
go.
Okay. So yeah, yeah. Edibles and all this stuff is just not for me. And I've tried
Mm.
and stuff, but yeah. Once you know, you know.
That's right.
And so, well, that's cool. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Thank you.
So now that you have hit up Spain,
Yes.
um, what were your thoughts? I know that you, of course, you were here visiting, family,
Hmm.
moi, and Kayla, and just enjoying.
Hmm.
But What did you like overall, like between Madrid and Zaragoza? What's like one of a great experience or something that you had while visiting?
The food.
Mhm.
Like foodie.com, anytime we all get together, we are always like, okay, what's the best place to eat? Actually, I just let you guys take the reins on that one because you guys know.
Mhm.
Okay. But like seeing like the tapas and everything, the whole experience, like the place itself, the culture,
Mhm.
I love. Anytime you travel, you just kind of learn something new. Unlike as far as even like their currency, never figured that out. But thank you guys. I was like, okay. And as far as just like being able to walk around the food, I'm going back to the food, right? Walking
Mhm.
around and seeing those like big legs hanging up, the dried meat.
Oh, the hamon, the prosciutto. I forget something. It's something. I know what you're talking about though. It's
Yeah,
like the
it's
big leg, the big pig leg. Okay.
yeah, yeah, and it's just hanging there. But like, how
Yeah.
many places have these things hanging there? And it's like, but it's a dried meat, it's cured, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they just kind of can cut from it. But I'm like, whoa, I don't know why. Like certain things like that, I'm like, you don't see that, you know.
Yeah.
I won't say in
Also, I wish
America.
that thought that you had to buy the whole. I mean, and some families do. Don't get me wrong, but she was like, "I want to taste some, but I don't want to have to buy the whole leg." And I was like, "You don't. You don't buy the whole leg. No, they just carve them off as needed. It's like, no, you don't. You don't take the big. You can't take the big whole leg back and then put it in your suitcase and take it back. Don't do that. Okay."
Buy a whole suitcase just to bring that back.
They will smell that. Anyways,
Not a bad idea. But
but you
but
enjoyed
love
the food. Yeah.
the food and the culture. I love architecture. Like that's a big one for me. Anytime my friends
Yeah.
travel, I say, please take pictures of the architecture and like take pictures of like the buildings and like just the scenery in general, you know.
Yeah.
I love just being in different places, even in Jamaica. It was the same thing where I'm like, oh, like it's like completely different. The houses are even made of different materials, you know.
Yeah.
It's more so like there can be like shacks, you know, but then it's a lot of concrete. But then here we can't like actually I digress, but in New Orleans, for example, like
Mm.
there it's a lot of brick. But then here in San Diego, you're not going to really find that because we have earthquakes.
Yep.
And so if it's like brick, then it's not like movable, it's not flexible when an earthquake hits, it's just going to crumble. And so I love seeing like how the different architecture in different places, how it is designed based on like the environment or like how mother nature is, you know? Cuz
Yeah.
like you're not going to find that in certain places. Also being really old. I love it.
Yes. That's one thing that I love about Madrid. And I know it's like in every country, but I'm just basing on where I've been. But Madrid, I love just to like I could just be like on a bus or whatever, or just walk around Madrid all the time because it's just to see all the old buildings. And yes, they've done a lot of um renovations on the inside, but the outer construction or architecture is still like original. It just looks so beautiful. Same thing in Lisbon. Oh my goodness, I could just walk around in Lisbon. The only difference is in Lisbon is like there's too many hills, and I'm just like,
Mm,
okay. Yeah, and before you know
mm.
it, you've agreed to go meet somebody, and all of a sudden you're walking up this steep ass hill.
Oof.
But I do love the just all the wonderful, beautiful architecture as you go and discover different cities, different countries, and I have some goals. I was supposed to be trying to go to Vietnam. There's a whole group of Black women that are going to Vietnam
Mm.
in February, and I was like, I'm going, and just it's not feasible for me to go right now. So I was like, stop trying to force yourself to, it's like you'll see them when they come to visit you here in Spain.
Mhm.
Yeah. But overall, yeah, it's just been a great experience, and I love that I've been able to share it with you guys, especially your first time. This is your first time. I think Ebony had come like twice before, but this is your first time coming over. So like the Black History Tour, and just all the different experiences. Just be like, oh. And so here's the thing: Jessica is so much like me in a lot of ways because we get excited
Yeah.
Like I'm expressive. Y'all know the people that, see me, met me in person and on here. I am very expressive and just everything is just like, oh wow, this is
Yeah.
beautiful. Look at that. That is just amazing. That is
Right.
Jessica.
Yeah.
Yes. So, and my other two daughters literally laugh at us whenever all three of
All
us
the
are
time.
together. They literally laugh at us because they'll just sit back and just
It's
look
like
at us because we're doing the same thing. We get excited about the same things. We're very expressive and everything's beautiful. And yeah, and my other two daughters, Kayla and Ebony, are just like, look
uh-huh.
at them. Look at these fools. They're just doing a lot right now.
They're like, you guys are a lot. Can't
And they're
tame this
used to it.
energy. Mm.
Yes. So where is a place? I know that, so in my mind, my idea would be like, oh, I got hair in my eye and it's like about to drive me crazy. So
Hmm.
hold on.
I feel you.
Oh,
Yeah.
I literally have a hair in my eye and okay, I think it's out. Okay. Anyways, in my mind, I'm like, I'm happy to inspire other Black women, especially to make that move to leave the U.S. and find someplace else that suits them better, that has more of an appreciation for their talent, their skills, and just because they're just good human beings.
Mm-hmm.
Where would you? Well, let me just say this: being here, so did it put kind of a little bug in you, just to be like, let me consider
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah. No, Spain definitely is something I would consider later on in my life for sure.
Mhm.
Yep. I would love to go to Belize, like traveling in like Central America area.
Mhm.
Brazil is another one I would love to go to. That's definitely on something I'm gonna do. And then actually, I don't know if I told you, but next year, August, I'm gonna be out in Europe again. By the way, BTW. Hi. Yep. Yeah, no.
What?
I
I think you told me something about that, but right now I'm like, what part?
It's Megan's birthday, and so we're gonna be traveling around. I know Paris, um,
Okay,
London. I want to go to Greece. I really want to go to Greece. Yeah,
okay.
right. Probably Amsterdam for a day.
Working on that itinerary. Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
talk.
yeah, no,
Okay.
yeah. I'm just whatever she tells me we're going, whatever she's like, here we're gonna go here, here, and here, and I'm like, okay, cool. I'll let y'all know. Yep,
Yes.
I need to
Goals.
see my
Okay.
niece.
So, yes, I've been sequestered to stay here in July. I have to be here in
Yeah.
July.
Uh-huh.
But other than that, so yeah, I can't go nowhere. But other than that, yeah, we're
I
gonna
need
keep
to
that
try to
information going.
what?
Huh?
What were you
I
saying?
just said other than that, we're gonna see where else I can sneak off to before and after that. Okay.
Yes.
So how do you feel like you stay connected with me, since I left? I know, we people have said like one time, I had somebody that was like, you're leaving the country, so what about your kids? I'm like, my kids are grown and don't even live in the same city or state where I am, stuff. But how do you think I'm doing with staying connected, or how do you feel about the connection?
You know what? So when you first told me you were moving, well, first off, Kayla moved, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And you had a major fear of flights, like of heights
Hmm.
in general. You still do, but like in general, I
Yeah.
never imagined you being like, I'm gonna fly across the ocean. Right. And then you took like the little trip, to kind of get your feet wet.
Yeah,
As
Costa
far as
Rica, yeah.
Costa
We
Rica,
went to
yeah.
Costa Rica first, yeah. Yeah.
Right. And so after that, you just took off. You're like, bloop, 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 bloop. I'm going everywhere.
Yeah.
And so it was cool seeing that development with you, by the way. Seeing how you
Mhm.
like really grew in that way where you're just like, you know what, I'm gonna conquer this fear. And then from there, it was like, I'm going to Spain. And I'm like, okay. Like, and I
Yeah.
know we don't see each other often in general. And so that part wasn't like an issue for me. It was
Mhm.
just interesting knowing you're gonna be in a whole different country. I was like,
Yeah.
"So, like, how does that work? Like, am I never gonna see you again? Like, what's going on?" But at that point, it's like you've definitely made it work. You're here in Oceanside, came to visit. I've gone out there, and also like now we're doing this, which is awesome.
Yeah.
WhatsApp is our friend. WhatsApp is
Yes,
cool.
technology has really lent a great helping hand for people to stay connected and for me to stay connected with people that matter to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I do appreciate living in a in a time where technology has been a friend.
Mm-hmm.
It can there's negatives about technology and how people use it, abuse it, or do whatever and stuff, but also there's just been some great advances, and that's what when Kayla first moved to Spain, I was just like, oh my gosh. But, it's so funny because initially I think that we started talking, well, we talked pretty regularly,
Mm-hmm.
but especially during, I guess, COVID or whatever. Yeah, we developed the talking every single day.
Mm.
And, we were just talking on the phone. Even now, so funny, even now, we have a time here and we're in the same zone now that we literally talk and we video chat almost every single day
Oh, I love that.
because yeah, one it's Ayana, my granddaughter, called me one day and she's like, she's just like doo, doo, doo. She's like, hey Lolly, okay. And I'm like, she's like just turned 3 and I'm like, what are you doing?
I love it, baby. Aw.
And so, oh my goodness, Jessica was so funny because it was a blessing that I had all 3 of my daughters here when my lollipop did her first day of school.
I know.
Because public school here pre-K starts at 3 years old.
Which is so smart. America,
Yeah.
let's do this. Okay. Like, what?
Yeah, it starts at 3, and so her first day, it's like, we were all, I mean, I'm sure Lollipop was just like, I'm sick of these pictures, but we were like in there and just getting emotional. And then on top of that, the fact was that when she went to school that day, Jessica, they were leaving. I think y'all were getting ready to leave that next day. So there was
Yeah.
wasn't going to be any time to see her after that.
I didn't know that in that moment too. Not until that morning when we were leaving, I was like, wait, I'm not gonna see her again? Like within this trip? What?
Yes. So she jumped up and was like, we're doing a full photo shoot right now. And Ayana was just
over it. So over it. I can't.
Just like, here. Okay, now right here. Okay.
I have all of them.
Yes. I shared a folder, I think, of all. Did you get that? You haven't even checked your email yet, probably. I just shared a whole album of pictures. Like they're just, I mean, the center is all about Jessica, but it's like all of us over the past years and during different visits and whatever and stuff. So just FYI.
Share that with me. I didn't
So
I don't know if I saw that.
Yeah. I'll give you the details later on. So what else? Okay, so I wanted to just touch base. Okay, so yeah, you do have some plans on traveling and hopefully maybe at some point later on in life or whatever stuff you can do, create a way to work remote. Completely remote and stuff, then maybe you can spend more time here.
So that is actually something I do plan on doing because as a BCBA, I could work anywhere. Like one thing I will say is when you have a career where it's so open as a board certified behavior analyst, behavior is everywhere. If you or anybody that you know is a BCBA, one thing that they definitely encourage is to expand and have multiple forms of income, not just being in one area. And so something that I could do, I could go anywhere. I could work anywhere. I can get a job anywhere. I don't just have to work with special needs. I could also work with geriatric. I could also work even even sports and stuff too. Like there's people who do that where they work behavior analysts, work with sports players and stuff and help them kind of get back. Yeah, there's so many things you can do because behavior is everywhere. Behavior is behavior, Also, I can go to
You know
different.
what she's saying here, and I want to kind of expand on that a little bit because I've seen so many women saying, or within our community, that are like, I want to leave, but I'm a social worker. I want to leave, but I'm a therapist. Now I understand that there might be certain licensings that has to happen wherever you're going to, but whatever your profession is, whatever it is that earns you that income,
Mhm.
might be a way for you to actually take your income or expand your income by taking that show on the road, taking your
Yeah.
life, yeah, and creating opportunities by figuring out where there might be a need
Mhm.
for your services
Mhm.
somewhere, in another country.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Right.
get the information, do the research.
That. Also, another go-to, a lot of my friends have moved to different countries like China, Taiwan, like other places. And
Mhm.
they just kind of become like English teachers. You know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, you don't necessarily have to know the language in that country in order to
Mhm.
make a difference. Even with what I currently do, more than half of my career has been working with primarily Hispanic families. And so
Okay.
I Spanglish, I know enough. I could talk to
Mhm.
like I'll say like a second grader in Spanish, I could do that.
Okay.
And so I moved up from preschool
I'm
to six.
pre-K in Spanish. Okay, but
I
go
got
ahead.
you. Like, I can have a conversation with the second grader, or if I'm like in an Uber late night drunk, I can do that too. But
Okay.
but either way, being able to work with those families, I don't necessarily have to be speaking the same language in order to be able to work with the families. And that's something I've learned over the past, like, at least half my career now. So, and I've been in the field 13
Okay.
years. So, yeah.
Wow.
Hmm.
Wow. So you know what? I wanted to just take the time to talk to you because again, you have a different, all my daughters have, their different careers and goals and things going on, just like I do. But I love yours is different because again, we all, like me and my three daughters, seem to be ones that provide a caring environment that's looking out for the well-beings of others.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you come by it honestly. But I love, like, you are also discovering more travel.
Yeah.
You have your passions that are leading to great opportunities for you. I'm very excited and happy for you.
Thank you.
But yeah, I was like, you're making a difference, but also you're still going after your dreams and sharing your talents, vocal and edibles and cooking wise.
Mhm.
Okay. So do you have any, I don't want to say big hopes, like some of the goals that you might have that's for 2025, that's like, this is where my growth is going to be focused on.
You know what?
I don't want to say New Year's resolution, but yeah,
No,
goals
not a
that you
resolution, but hashtag goals.
there you
um,
go.
across the board, I love just my company in general, Super Bent Edibles, where me being able to do more catering and actually being able to, and that can be infused or non infused,
Okay.
but being able to expand that and reach out to more people, really kind of focusing on that. I mean, like, I've been in my field for a long time now, and I
Yeah.
still am going to stay in that field. But if I can get my company to the point, or when I can get my company to the point of basically maintaining my lifestyle,
Yeah.
then I will definitely be focusing more
Your
on
side
that.
hustle becomes your main hustle.
Thank
Yeah.
you. I was like, how do I word that? Thank you.
Yeah.
I want it to be my main hustle.
Yeah.
Also, singing wise, I joined a band.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Totally
Yeah.
forgot.
Okay.
Yeah, totally forgot. I joined a band, and so looking forward to that. Having our first show, don't know when that is yet, but then also being able to like do that, and then even move on with that too, where it's like actually doing, like, if we go on tour, I would love that. Okay,
Yeah.
type of thing. And so I'm looking forward to 2025, and like as far as the things that are going to develop. Even with like working with the kids with autism too and other related special needs, I would love to partner with like certain companies to do more than just like the ABA, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
But even combining that where I could have like music and have like provide shows for special needs, or even having them like, because adult services for special needs people is very minimal. Okay. Like after you
Mhm.
turn 23, like a lot of things kind of go away, a lot of the support goes away. And so having like an environment for them to be able to, adults to be able to be there, come together, even like kids too, be able to come together and have like events and stuff like that. being
Mhm.
able to actually have me, even them having a band, you know, and
Yeah.
performing for different people, would be great to be able to create that environment for them, because it would just be amazing. Because like there's not much out there, you know, and so being able to
Mhm.
have that support for them and have like that community is something that I really would love to do as well.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, this has been great. Multifaceted, my multifaceted baby.
Yeet.
Ah, my Cali baby.
I do a lot.
Yeah, so make sure. So you're going to be sending me. By the time this post, I will have all the information about how to get in contact with me. Because again, make sure that you do like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you will know when I do post. Make sure that you do sign up for the email subscription so you'll get notified about events that are coming up in 2025, as far as meetups and very all inclusive visits here in Spain. And make sure that you click on the links for Jessica so you can find out when she's going to do a pop-up, when she's going to be performing, and all the great information that she has to share and all of her great offerings also. Um, Jessica, anything else you want to add?
Yeah, actually, I wanted to just drop some like info too, where if you're in the San Diego area or in general, there are communities for people with autism as well. And so Autism Speaks is a really good one, as far as just you can Google it, Autism Speaks. They actually have events where it might even be like a free surf class. There's also like Chuck E. Cheese. They have like autism sensory or sensory friendly days on
Oh,
I believe Sundays. I might be the first or third Sunday or something like that, but look it up. There's also sensory friendly movie theaters that they have that on like certain days where like the lights are dimmed, or even the sound isn't as loud. The sound's like a little bit quieter, lights are dim, they're not fully off. And basically it's just an accepting community where people can, like, if your kid's running up and down the stairs, if they're stimming and having those type of engaging in those sensory behaviors, nobody cares. Cool, because everybody knows what's going on. And then there's
wow.
San Diego Autism Society as well. And I'm gonna have Yolanda put all this in there too.
Yes.
But just things like that are out there. I don't want you to feel like you have to just be home with your child all the time. There's a lot of different places you can go and events that they have that will help, just kind of help you as a parent be able to have that community, be able to reach out to people, having even like the parent support groups and stuff too. I don't want you to feel like you're alone, because you're not. And so that's just mainly one thing I just wanted to talk about and say. Yeah.
Thank you. Wow. Again, all of her information and all the contact and things that she's mentioned in this conversation will be in the links below. So please do, if you need assistance with anything regarding special needs, especially along the lines of autism, or do they say on the spectrum, or autism, or
Autism on the spectrum. Yeah.
okay,
Everybody on the
yes.
spectrum.
Information for, especially for the community of San Diego,
Mhm.
is in there for you. So, anyways, well, Jessica, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. This has been awesome. This is such a
Yeah.
great way
It's
to.
my first.
I said that. I told Ebony, I was like, we need to do this at least twice a year. Where I
Yeah.
have my daughters come on. It's like maybe one day we'll do one where it's like all four of us just chit chatting. But I feel like it
Ooh,
would just be too.
chaos.
Yeah. It might be a little bit too much and everything, because we'll just start talking and they'll be like, "Are y'all gonna stop at some point?" And it's like, "Oh
I
yeah,
know.
oh well, y'all know all our business now." Okay, well, everybody, thank you so much for joining. I really do appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and don't hang up and stuff, because we still got to finish chit chatting in the background once we finish this and stuff. But thank you guys for joining, and please do make sure that you like, subscribe, share, and we'll talk soon.
Bye.